everybody. MyT Sports Season 7. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Down Taylor. It is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We are recording again live right down the block from Miami, Florida, just a pop bang away. This is March 7th, 2022. It's another beautiful day down here. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what kind of weather you guys are getting where you're at. Right in the middle of April, but I'm telling you right now, it was another beautiful day. It was like 88 degrees. Another 88. 88 was a good year, wasn't it? 88 was a really depending though. Like 88 had some crack pandemic shit going on. But like in the sports world though, like 88 was a good year. If you remember Jordan in 88, like that's a good year, right? But it was like 88 degrees today, right? We had scattered showers. You know, like we always do in South Florida. A little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. You understand? This is season 7, episode 72 of this season, excerpt 405 of the MyT Sports Podcast. And boy, do we got some shit to talk about with you today. We're gonna talk about UFC 272. We're gonna talk about Coach K's last game. I forgot we was gonna talk about Coach K's last game, to be honest with you, right? We're gonna talk about Celtics history being made. Even I was a little shocked about that shit, right? We're going to talk about these combine numbers that keep popping up. You know we got Blue Chew. You know we got the tea of the weekend. Let's see. We may talk about the lighter side of sports. We may get into love to see it. You definitely going to get into some Knicks talk at a late addition to the podcast. Thank you, mi amigo. We're going to talk about Calvin Ridley's dumbass. That and more on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here? Right? Because I told you the start time is 8:07. Here we all getting shit popping at 10:07. Joanna, you said, I think you should restart the podcast from the beginning. This is the beginning of the podcast. Yes, welcome to the MyT Sports Podcast. Because regardless of the time, take that. And regardless of the weather, I got a full cup of vodka in me.
You play to win the game. Hello?
It's always a good time to talk some sports. Oh shit, I'm feeling myself. So let's start talking. Ric Flair, hit me with one of them high notes. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Whew. Tell you, I told you I was feeling myself. I told you guys I was feeling myself. We started a podcast late today, but I'm in a good mood. I'm in a real good mood. What's going on, Ron? What's going on, Chivo? I see you guys popping up in the podcast. I got Joanna on Instagram. We see everybody popping up on the multiple ways that we have that you can catch the podcast, whether that's Instagram, Podbean, Facebook, Twitter. We talking about YouTube Live, Twitch Live, Podbean Live, Instagram Live. Like you understand? Facebook, we live. Twitter, we're live everywhere. Anywhere that you want to see this mug, we here now. Welcome to the show. Hey, I heard the beat just cut. So let's get things popping, right? Like I want to get things popping. I wasn't sure how I wanted to start the podcast today. I ain't gonna lie, right? Like things came to me in different ways. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. You guys got a little bonus material earlier today. So if you listen to the podcast today, right? If you're just now coming into the podcast, there's a whole bunch of bonus shit that was on the pre-recorded. So make sure that you guys go ahead and catch a little bit of that and hear that out. But you know what we really like to start off the podcast with? Every single podcast, we like to start off with a little bit of a birthday celebration. Right after the birthday celebration, we're gonna get into the tea of the weekend, and then right after the tea of the weekend, we're gonna talk about dumbass el numero uno of the evening, folks. Let's get into it. Nah, I know. I ain't gonna lie. Can I get that a little louder? Like, I just want the people in the back of the room to feel it a little. How about that? That's good. Give me a reason to raise my voice, B. You know what I mean? Give me a reason to get excited. Right? I'm gonna do my dance. Yo, this is a dance now. I like that shit. This is a dance. This is a motherfucking dance. Hell yeah. Yeah, let's go. Because yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Okay, people, if this is your first time here, like that is the birthday song. My apologies. I should have told you. I should have warned you that the birthday song was coming. It ain't the conventional birthday song. It's a birthday song that we just happen to come up with on our own because, you know, birthday songs are copywritten. Yes. So guess what we did? We made our own. It's a simple song. And what we like to do is that we like to celebrate everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we had the podcast. So we're going to start all over again. We're going to sing the birthday song again one more time. Right? So if you know the words, go ahead and sing it at home. If you don't know the words, just trust me, it's not a hard song to catch on to. Alright? Let's catch that beat again, because yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Alright, well, we have to do the first birthday that we're going to shout out is for April 5th. Sorry, March 5th. We had no birthdays on March 5th. I got no birthdays today, actually, surprisingly. But we do have some birthdays for the 6th of March. And so I'd like to say happy birthday to Matt Grateful, right? Grateful. Happy birthday to you. Also would like to say happy birthday to Christy Brock, right? Christy happens to be like the little sister, little cousin, right? Like that's Natalie's little cousin. You know what I mean? That's the little homie. I swear to God, like I've known her since she was like 13 years old, I think. You know what I mean? And now she's a grown whole woman and shit like that. But happy birthday, Christy, and happy birthday, Matt. I want to tell you both. I hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. Hope you regret nothing. But more importantly, I hope you continue to stay MyT. Ayo, DJ MyT, do me a favor and cut the beat. No, cut it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Shit. Whew. Over here working up a sweat and shit. God damn. Whew. Y'all feel that? Energy in the room just got real. All right, folks. All right, let's get into a little bit of the tea of the weekend, right? But before we get, let me see. I think you still got them here. You guys still ready? Don't forget, Ronnie. Yo, Ronnie, call up if you like, right? Like it's one of those podcasts. Like I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm gonna do a lot of shooting from the hip today, right? I think there's gonna be a decent amount of shots coming from the hip today. Like, yeah, so we'll see how things go. What's going on, Chill? Well, let's see if we get Chill into the building.
Drop takes, don't you? Drop takes, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir!
Well, if you gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Okay. It doesn't look like Chill Will is ready as of yet. Don't worry, we'll get Chill Will, our Cleveland correspondent, up in this building, right? I know that his team I think they got a big game I'm coming on tonight. I gotta pull up the schedule. I ain't gonna lie. Like normally, if you guys know me, I got a game going on in the background normally. For some reason, no game today. I am all kinds of discombobulated. I ain't gonna lie. Like I tell you. Like the late start time, like me being stuck at work, like all that bullshit. Like I thought I cleared up my schedule so that I could be available for days like this. But no. Oh my God. Speaking of days like this. You know what? I may just add it to the to the tea of the weekend because you know what? I think we're about here now. So let's go ahead and go into the new segment that has been sweeping the nation, folks, and that is the tea of the weekend, where we go ahead and we spotlight. I don't even want to call it a highlight. We spotlight, right? It's basically like spotlight is like a podcast bullet point. Oh, the Knicks are gonna play soon. You know what? It was all worth it. And you know what? On top of that,
1, 2,
Oh shit. Oh shit. I think we got Chill Will.
You drop takes, don't you? You drop takes, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir!
Well, if you gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
Cleveland! This is for you!
What's up, baby boy? What's good with you, man? Did you just disappear that quick? It's going down. Where everybody at?
We here. But you know how you supposed to come into the room? You're supposed to give us the brat. Drop your IG to the people.
You ain't hear me?
To the people wearing how to find you. Like, you know.
Man, at the IG, man, you know, it's Sweet Willie in the building. Chill Will _CLE. You feel me? That's for the ladies. Don't you dare say that out your mouth. Sweet Willie in the building. And then you know the middle name. Ladies will find out the middle name later on, you know what I'm saying? With Chill Will _CLE. You feel me? That's the Instagram. And I'm holding down for all you DJs out there from the Midwest to the West Coast to the South, you know what I'm saying? We got it going. You know, if you need some services in reference to DJs, weddings, parties, all of that, that's me. You know what I'm saying? We come to your backyard, we come to your corporate event, we're gonna rock out, and we got what you need. Flat out. Baby. It's your boy, Sweet Willie.
And because it'll be the anniversary of a great one soon, right? If you don't know, now you know. But yo, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of excited to start today's podcast. So let me go ahead and hop into the tea of the weekend, because tea of the weekend, like I said, it's a spotlight. It's not a highlight, right? It's a spotlight. And you know, yes, what the fuck is a spotlight? Spotlight is a podcast bullet point.
Well, I got to be called T.
What?
Like, hey, T. Hey, the like T the weekend, like the dude off of what is it called?
You know what? I hate you now. I hate you now. You know what you be saying? No, you know what? You know how? You know what's that line you be saying to me right now? If you was beside me, I would punch your face.
Well, I'm just saying, bro. Fuck me.
That's hilarious. Oh shit.
Hated it.
Oh my god. I can't even. Oh shit.
Ricky Smiley Morning Show, dude.
Oh my god. Yo, that's hilarious.
It's open. It's not open.
Oh fuck. Yo. But yeah, it's coming. It's it is the tea of the weekend, partly because of like what people talk about, like the tea of the weekend, and also, you know, it plays into the whole theme of the MyT podcast, and all three of my names starting with the initial T. Like, you know, everything I do got a triple or quadruple entendre. Like, it's multiple entendres here, but one of them was definitely not hated it. Oh my god. Now I'm gonna have to watch it live in color so I can figure out what fucking show that was. I forgot what the name of that show, what the show that they used to have was.
That was men in what is it, men in sports, men on sports. It was just sports show like yours.
Nah, they didn't talk sports. No. They talk
No.
Whoa.
Just like your show. It was just like your show. Remember they would talk about sports. Talk about tight ends and the receivers and shit. Remember?
Okay, I'm catching a flashback. I do remember saying, but oh my god, whoa,
it was just like your show.
Shit.
It's
Yo,
awesome.
You know what? Now I'm really gonna have to go back and watch that show. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know Martin has definitely influenced me. Right from back in them days, like I don't know how, but I know Martin definitely influenced the way that I run a podcast in a weird ass way. I have never ever thought about until you mentioned that, I didn't even remember that I couldn't remember what show they had. I thought they had like a variety show, like they talked about everything.
Remember they was like had football and they had a little thing where they hike each other the ball.
Oh my god, I do remember those skits. Oh shit.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was men on sports.
This is
man.
not safe. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to Google this. I'm gonna have
It's
to.
nice. I don't feel like it's not a safe. We need a safe word, and it can't be pineapples. So that's like it gotta be something manly. It gotta be like nah, nigga, nah.
I know we have a
like
listen.
phrase or something.
You know what's funny? Me and my girl have a safe word, right?
Yeah, no.
And I would
feel
say
like you probably need one. You probably get out of hand and
what?
certain things. You probably need one. You probably get out of hand. You get probably out of hand, and you probably need a safe word for your ass. You like, oh.
Listen, you know what's funny?
Pineapples, apricots, watermelons,
passion fruit, pomegranate.
Oh yeah.
No, our safe word is direct.
Okay, direct.
Yeah.
That direct, like the rec or direct?
The rec.
Like the cable company.
Like the rec. THEREC.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like in NBA 2K.
Gotcha. We gotta come up with like a better one for here.
Oh no! Listen. Like I don't know if I really want a safe word here on the Mighty Sports Podcast. Cause listen. But in a weird way, I feel like we do have one, and it is. Remember, these calls are being recorded for quality and training purposes.
That's a phrase. That's a
Like granted, it ain't ours, but I mean, but I don't think it's copywritten by anybody. But that's definitely one. Like these pods are being recorded. Like we'll stop saying call, but these pods are being recorded for quality and training purposes.
Right.
Because I have I ain't gonna lie to you, right? And granted, I say this in a weird way, and it's jokingly, it's kind of tongue in cheek, but this is also sometimes that lets me know that if they put me on the platform that some of these people got, I can do exactly what the fuck they have, what they're doing. Because there's days where I feel like ESPN's research and development department has my podcast on its scouting list. And it takes shit from my podcast to go talk about. Like, I swear to God, I feel that way. And while you may call me crazy and know it ain't true, but that's how often that shit that we say here on the podcast makes it over, and they regurgitate that shit either a day later or weeks later. Like you understand how sometimes how far ahead of ESPN we are in some shit? So what's that? Say that again, Will? We lost Will for half a second. But yeah, listen. I really do feel like that. Like, and I know that. Like I said, that's why I said it in tongue in cheek, because they probably not listening at all. But the fact that I know that literally the same exact shit that we be saying, we be talking about here, and sometimes even the same exact way that we phrase it and picture it, right, in our own storytelling ways, that they come out, and I hear this, and I'm not talking about like from Jalen and Jacoby, where it may come from somebody like that's from the coach. I'm talking about like their 5 a.m. show that is two random white dudes on there.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Or their 3 to 6 show, you know what I mean, that has nobody really from the culture except for kind of like Peter Rosenberg-ish, you know what I mean? But he ain't really saying that shit that we say. Like, it's coming from their other guys. What's going on? Why you got the 2 guns up?
I can't find my phone.
Want me to call it? Oh, never mind. That won't work.
No, I won't. It actually really won't work. You know, I keep my shit on Do Not Disturb.
I know.
Shoot! Bless you.
Shit. Spraying all over the place. I got weed pollen in my nose. Why are you rubbing me like that? Did you feel that? You felt that?
What, baby? What did I feel?
That's boyfriend material.
I don't remember it feeling like that.
That's boyfriend material. That's a bad joke.
I'm sorry. She She was over here rubbing up on my. She was rubbing up on my arm and shit. You feel that? Yeah, see that?
Oh my god.
All right, don't say it again.
Yep.
Using a different spot. That was husband material.
Oh my goodness!
This is horrible.
No one knows what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Like I said, every day I live my life in fear.
No. You don't get to say that.
We definitely have an idea. We might know, but we got a approximation.
Listen, what did my battle buddy tell you? I'm a weird dude, but I'm loyal as fuck. And those are his words exactly, wasn't it? He a weird ass motherfucker, but he loyal as like I am. Like, listen, I know I got my quirks and idiosyncrasies, but they're all for the betterment of the good. Like I'm all for the betterment of humanity.
Where's that next
But
talk?
I trust people who show them. Like, this is the thing about this. I have a thing about that. I think we all do, but I trust people who are not afraid to show them. Them are my bestest of friends. Like, for real. People who don't have any, I don't trust these motherfuckers because they're hiding too much. Like, they're not comfortable being themselves. So they probably like fucking like weirdos. They're probably staring at you and from the next door, like while you change clothes and shit. Like, yeah.
Story of my life.
I fear people who seem like they're perfect. I fear them. They got the weirdest shit behind the scenes. Like, they're the people with people in their basement and shit. Like, fuck those people.
Not the basement.
Listen, I feel you. That's just like also, like Ronnie knows this, right? Ronnie knows is that with me and my friends, like I like to try to build I've always like to build an environment where everybody feels comfortable, like fully comfortable in their own shit. You know what I mean? Like I've always tried to build that shit. Like, and listen, we may make fun of you too. Like, but that's just making you comfortable in your shit. Like, you understand? Like your friends. If your friends haven't said the worst shit about the shit that you have to you, they're not your friends. Like, and they should be preparing you for the world. like your friends are supposed to say all that shit that you're afraid of. But like, you know what? I've laughed about this with so many times with my friends. Like if some random stranger trying to say that shit to me, like, you know what? That shit don't even faze me. But I'm still gonna knock your ass the fuck out unless I'm gonna do it out of malice. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it out of GP.
That's just real friendship, to say what you gotta say and knowing that your friend might not necessarily like you because you love them.
Yeah,
you know
listen.
what I'm saying? That's real friendship. That's I don't have nobody around me not like that either. So
listen, like
these are all precursors to good friendships and regular people.
Listen, I have gone into conversations with friends knowing that I'm about to say some shit to them that they may not like, and and believe it or not, like. The ones that have that you keep that friendship with, then you realize, okay, you know what? We can hold each other accountable every single goddamn time. Like we could talk to each other every single goddamn time and not have to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? And you have this with multiple people, like men and women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It isn't a sexual feeling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And the ones that kind of fell off, you realize, like, listen, we couldn't get along because they don't like truth all the time. Like, and listen, if you're fucking up around me, like, I'm gonna let you know you fucking up. Or if you're portraying behavior and then you whining about it, we gonna let you know, well, hey, like, you ain't really the victim here. Like, you did XYZ, and XYZ. You have to notice your pattern behavior that keep leading to this outcome that you're complaining about. Like, and if you can't do that, then you ain't friends. I'm sorry. And I don't want you as my friend. If you can't do that to me, I don't want you, like, I don't want you around. I'll let you know this whole, like, listen, the bond that we have with with the people that I have close, you hear me talk about them all the time. Lewis, Darnell, Ronnie knows this. Right? Like, Johnny, you know, like I've had them have to come to me thinking it was going to be hard for them to tell me something, and they told me, it was like, you really make this shit way too easy. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why you thought it was going to be hard to say. Like, it really isn't that, like, it is what it is. Like, people don't understand, there's a beauty really in truth, right? You tell somebody the truth, and there's only one or two ways they can go about it. You either accept it, and we move on, or you don't accept it, and we move apart. That's really the beauty in truth. And if you don't have time for bullshit, guess what? You're gonna do a lot more times than not. You're gonna tell the truth. You're gonna tell the motherfucking truth. Because, like, believe it or not, like, truth saves you time. And once you realize how much time you save by telling the truth, like, you know what? I could weed out a lot of motherfuckers by telling them the truth. Now, you don't want to be an asshole, but sometimes you may be an asshole.
I feel like when you gotta over-explain yourself, you lying.
Shut up.
I should have said that louder.
Trust me, I guarantee you this mic picked up on it. It heard you. Listen, it's gonna be in the listen. It sounds like an ad lib
Yeah,
on
loud and clear.
a see loud and clear. It's gonna sound like an ad lib on a rap song. Skr skr. That's gonna sound like.
I'm sorry.
That sounded like the True on the Biggie album. True.
I still can't.
To yourself, because we can hear everything.
Exactly. So let's get into a little bit of the tea of the weekend, right? How surprised were you to hear that Larry Bird, the great Larry Bird, his greatness got tied? I was like, by who? What record? And then when I found out the amount, I was like, what? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And also, I see why nobody likes Kobe Covington. But you know what? He has some Mayweather appeal. He's just a little less classy.
Bing bong.
Brittany Griner, drug smuggler. Man, y'all just need to pay these women already. Like, seriously.
Oh.
And Russia, stop being petty. I can't wait for your USA to use the WNBA as their reason for backing Ukraine. That's going to be funny. Also, outside of the tea of the weekend, that's why I'm off beat. Outside the tea of the weekend, I saw a group of Ukrainian people kicking the shit out of a black dude. I don't know if I was targeted for that, but I'm just saying. Bombs over Baghdad.
Bing bong.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't joke about that.
Shit about that shit. It's sad.
Because
That
I don't.
shit's sad. That shit real.
Yeah, because I don't like war at all. You know what I mean? And I know whoever, like, I'm a sidebar, right? Because this is probably going to be one of the topics I probably don't get into, like, today. When I saw that, I was like, okay, we all, if you've been to enough places around the world, you'll realize that black people are scrutinized everywhere, right? And let me explain something to you too, right? When I say black, I mean black and brown, because I've had one of my Korean friends, right? Is it Korean? I think it's Korean. One of my Korean friends explained to me that even darker Asians are scrutinized versus the lighter Asians for kind of the same reason of house nigger and field nigger shit. Is that they knew that the darker ones were the ones that was working outside in the field, and the lighter ones were always inside doing some kind of more important job. So the darker ones were always kind of like looked down upon because of that. I don't know if a lot of people knew this when it came to Asian people, but that shit's in their culture too. Alright, so Colton is
$47 for gas, not even a full tank. 70, boom. 47, boom. Dollars for gas, boom. And then in full tank, boom. It was 75 cents. 75% a whole goddamn tank, which is some bullshit. And I ain't never going back to the gas station. Not a goddamn thing. I'm gonna walk for the rest of my life to the goddamn wherever I gotta go and the shit go back down. Fuck Russia. There you go.
Yo, word. Because the last time I saw gas prices this high was the last time Bush was in office. Like, y'all keep trying to blame whoever this guy is. I keep forgetting who this president is. He is so insignificant. I don't think he's gonna...
Yes,
Yo.
he is. He's so easy.
I just realized that shit. He is so
unimpressive.
Yo.
He's the most unimpressive fucking president since like.
Oh my
What's
God.
the Fred dude or like the Nixon? Nah, the Nixon was pretty. Yeah, he's been a long time.
No wonder Russia invaded Ukraine. They was like, USA. Oh, what the fuck you gonna do? I'm sorry, but we gonna get involved, and you gonna realize it don't matter who leads America. We gonna fuck your shit up.
Bing bong.
Don't let us get involved. But gas prices really haven't been this high since Bush was in office during the Bush War and recession. Let's not forget about that shit.
Bing bong.
Also, Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, Deuce McBride, 11 and a half minutes playing together, 36-4 run. Tom Thibodeau, why the fuck are you just now waiting to play your young boy? Damn. Huh? NFL Combine. Too fast, too furious. These motherfuckers were fast as fuck. I mean, I'm fast as fluff, boy. I'm fast as fuck. Like, they were talking about fast and furious kind of shit. We're talking about the only thing that could get between me and these numbers is family kind of shit. NFL Combine, the quick and the dead. NFL Combine, Aqib Talib's ghost made an appearance during the Combine because that's what happens when you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree. Don't forget, that's one of our favorite drops of this sport, of this podcast, and it sucks that Robert Crabtree is no longer in the league. Or is he? I don't think he is. Or is he? He left, right? Or is he in somewhere? I don't know. But I miss him because I miss making fun of him. Lamar Jackson, he got a chip on his shoulder for the culture, which made me realize, is that saying F you to Russ and Patrick Mahomes? We'll talk about that a little later.
Bing bong.
Kenny Pickett. Who the fuck is Kenny Pickett? And why the hell? Oh, I got bigger hands than Kenny Pickett. I'm sorry, Kenny. So I had to kill you on this podcast for GP and the fact that I'm also a South Park fan. Iowa, Caitlin Clark, she's the truth. UFC, 272. I thought I talked about this already. I guess I did, but I forgot. We had a buzzer beater, kind of, Friday night. What else I have? Oh, check out Amazon Prime, The Boys, Diabolic. That shit is crazy. And also the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And that, folks, is your tea of the weekend.
Bing bong.
Alrighty. Let's get into the podcast. Man, like, there's so much pre-show shit that goes on. Like, they understand, like, we ain't even talk no sports yet, for real. We 40 minutes deep. Thank you guys that stayed through this whole shit. Like I gotta telling you guys, like, I have to start to realize, like, hey, if you want to wait until we start talking sports, I'm gonna start saying this at the beginning of the podcast, then go ahead and fast forward 40 minutes, because we're gonna bullshit for a whole bunch of time before we start talking on Mondays. It's something about Mondays. Like, it's that long weekend. It's that long layover. It's like a miss you kind of podcast. Like, when you have seen your boys in a while, y'all go through all that reminiscing shit before y'all just start sitting there watching TV doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? And doing the regular jaw jacket. Like we had to ask, hey, how's the kids? How's the wife? How's the home? How's the job? How's the this? You know what I mean? How's your sciatica? Oh yeah, how's that bad knee? How's that tricky toe of yours? Oh, that shit's still ingrown? Ooh, nigga, you got some gray hairs popping in. Yeah, you know, the wife would be stressing me and shit. You know what I mean? Hey, you want a free sample of Blue Chew? Nigga, hook me up. And don't forget that you can get yourself a free sample of Blue Chew today too. If you listen to the podcast, I'll go ahead and drop a promo code for you just as well. But go ahead and listen, and we'll go ahead and drop that for you. Man, we had a nice busy weekend. Like, we really had a nice busy weekend. And normally, I'm not gonna lie to you. Normally, I come into this podcast, and immediately I start talking Knicks, right? Immediately I start talking Knicks. But I'm sorry. And you know what, KJ, this is your fault for not being here. So somebody needs to text KJ and tell him to hop on the motherfucking podcast, because He's the one that brought this shit to me. He's the one that let me know this shit was going to fuck songs. Like I was oblivious to this shit. You understand? Like I would have seen it eventually, right? When I came home, like you know what I mean. And I started running through. And I started running. What's going on? We having audio issues? Can y'all hear me? Hold on. Let's see here. Started seeing people dropping in. Well, I saw Ronnie drop. I didn't notice my mic moving either. Like, you know, anytime the mic ain't moving, that shit always makes me nervous. I ain't seeing that little thing, but I don't know if it wasn't moving before or if it's just not moving now. But we'll continue. Right, KJ gave me a nice little nugget, right? And I really thought, I would have seen it eventually. But he was like, yo, look, I see Ronnie now jumped over to Instagram. Could you not hear me on Podbean anymore? Okay, Podbean just came back. Now you guys can hear me back on Podbean. Okay, so something did happen in Podbean. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
It does all the time, so it's gotta be something. It ain't just that when you at the spot. There's something in there. It's something that might, I don't know if it's a loose cord or something. It's something though. Definitely something.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to reduce a couple of things later and see what's going on. Cause on Podbean you should be hearing this, right? Did you just hear a loud ass flick in your ear?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cause that's
but sometimes you just get in your bag and it'll get like muffled and like almost going. Like when you out at the spot, it'll just go away. Period.
Oh.
Or it just come in real low. It's like inconsistent. It's just
well in the
bad connection almost.
Well, when I'm here in the studio, I use two different mics. I use one mic to push to the website and to push to YouTube, and then I have a whole separate mic for the Podbean feed.
That's probably what you might not be talking into that mic or something. Covering it up.
Sometimes I could probably just be like turning my head away from it or doing some weird shit. Cause you know I move. Like if you see me on Instagram or YouTube or on Twitch, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to go everywhere. YouTube and on Twitch and like and share and subscribe to the podcast, you know, so that you get, and make sure you subscribe so you can hear that little bing bong every time that we go live and shit. And listen, if you have Amazon Prime, then you get Twitch for free. And I'm gonna start telling everybody this. So if you can hear my voice, go subscribe to the Twitch page because it's a paid subscription, which means that it really helps us out on the podcast a whole lot. Like YouTube does, and Twitch really does. Yeah. It's a paid because no, if you don't have Twitch, right, then you have to find a way like to subscribe to Twitch to get all of the features of Twitch. So with Amazon Prime, Twitch is a paid the stuff that you get Twitch is a paid subscription. You're paying for it through Amazon Prime, and then that way anytime that you like a podcast now, then you're using your paid subscription to like that podcast as if you're using your paid subscription to follow that podcast specifically. So it really helps. Like I heard this from somebody else. Like and I was like, oh shit.
Let everybody know about Prime, bro. Prime, first of all, Prime, you can if you in your area, you can order groceries, like from like whatever Instacart.
Mm-hmm.
They can Instacart you your shit. They can send your shit to 4 hours in some cases, depending on where you at. In 2 hours if you at the grocery stores, man. And plus you got the Prime Video. But you ain't got no commercials, not like Hulu or nothing like that. And they got some awesome programming that you probably never even seen. Like it's so many programs that it's some dope ass programs. They shit is rivals HBO. Amazon Prime, their top programming rivals HBO programming. It's so much better than Netflix or Hulu. It's ridiculous.
Well, those two
IMDb starting to come out.
Those two shows I just mentioned were through Amazon Prime. The new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is from Amazon Prime, and then. The Boys is an Amazon Prime show as well, and then The Boys just dropped it. Yeah, they just dropped the animated version of their thing called Diabolic, and I was watching that, and I was like, this shit is, you know what it is? It's like Ren and Stimpy. It's like watching the Ren and Stimpy show. That's how it honestly feels. And they also have another show called Invincible, which is also really nice. That's another animated show they have. But that's also really nice, and it's kind of like The Boys, but it was always animated. That was always animated.
Man, but they get a lot, bro. They got Reacher on there.
People love Reacher.
Reacher? You mean
Jack
you
Reacher?
mean do they? As a running series
Yeah.
or movie?
Yeah, it's a series. It's an
Oh.
actual. It's more closer to the comic book too. Like he's been.
Wait,
Yeah,
this is Jack.
watch
This is
that today.
I didn't know there was a Jack Reacher comic.
Jack Reacher.
Wait, I didn't know there was a Jack Reacher comic
it's
book.
Like a,
I
it's
did
like
know
a
there's a
comic
Jack
book.
Reacher. No, there's a Jack Reacher book. I
Book,
know.
it's like
yeah.
a book or something. Yeah.
Because I used to read the books. They're by Lee Childs. Like
Yeah,
he, yeah,
the book. I mean, I
yeah,
read
and
the
he,
book.
yeah, he's a Jack Reacher is a former military guy, and what he does is like he ends up finding himself in weird scenarios where he ends up like helping like some random shit or doing some random shit or whatever, and he uses sometimes a lot of his military ties to help him like maneuver through scenarios and shit like that. He's supposed to be, like, you know what? Damn, I forgot who I thought should have played him, like initially, because they have him listed as like some six.
But
He's supposed to be like
6'5".
yeah, like 6'3",
he's
6'5".
big guy.
Yeah, he's hard to miss him, but he comes off very unnoticeable. Like
Right. So
I've never
they
seen the
got
show,
that, and
but
you
but
can subscribe though.
but that was my
You
book.
can subscribe to other stuff like Stars,
Oh.
like Stars and HBO. You can do them subscriptions through Prime, and a lot of times they'll let you watch the first couple shows, maybe the first show of a series. Like I watched Hard Book 4 a couple days ago, the first one, with Tommy, the one with Tommy. I watched the first episode for free, and you got and they let you do shit like that.
You know what's funny? You're talking
it's
about how
up to
you
go.
just started watching the Book of Tommy. I just started watching Power. Period.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, then you gonna enjoy it. Then you about to enjoy it because it's.
I'm
got some
enjoying
bad
it.
Acting.
Oh, no,
Tommy ain't the best
listen,
actor,
I'm enjoying
but
it.
it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm
It's
enjoying every
enjoyable.
bit of it.
It's
Like,
enjoyable.
listen, it's a nice
It's
series.
It's B plus. It's a B plus work. It's like B to B plus work.
And it
So it's
also-
worth to watch.
Also, first seasons of anything, especially when you watch the first episode, but first seasons of anything, you kind of got to take, you have to understand cinematic progress, right? Because even within a season, like between the first episode or the first 3 episodes, you may quickly see like the wardrobe and things that they had in the first 3 episodes. You may see a massive upgrade by episode 10 in that same season, but definitely by season 2. Like everything's a massive upgrade. There's no so you have to understand progression, and then also it's more people get more into their character. You know what I mean? Like their character now starts to become more a part of them than a character. You know what I mean? Like it becomes more of another personality that they transform into versus a character that they're playing. Like, so you have to give it time, like to really mesh and to understand, and then truly like add their little idiosyncrasies onto a role that helps it make it become more believable. And so far, I'm enjoying like the action and the way that they're telling this story and how things are going on, like, and all of the ifs and the what ifs and the betrayals and stuff like that, like the intrigue and the
they
drop,
got
like
that.
the thrill,
Yep.
like the thriller and all that suspense. Like, yeah, I'm
You got a pencil?
that
You
was-
got a pencil, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, it's a bunch of them on here. Like, they they got Jack Ryan too. Jack Reacher and Jack Ryan, both of the military type shows.
Jack Ryan.
They got Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan,
Ah, okay. I thought that one sounded familiar.
and they got Jack Ryan and Jack Reacher. You probably write that shit down.
I've
They
read-
got Bosch. Bosch is a
I've
detective
read them
show.
both. You know what? You know which one I always thought that could have been done. I haven't seen it, but that's only because they didn't put Will Smith as the acting role, and that was shit. It was James Patterson's. Fuck. They did 2 movies based off of this. Damn it, he's a black cop. Was he in DC or some shit? Lived with his mom, like he lived with his mom or whatever. Like, or they lived with him, however you want to word it. Fuck. But he was supposed to be like another 6'3", 6'5" guy that looked a lot like Muhammad Ali kind of shit. And I was like, oh, they need to give Will Smith that role.
I don't know about it, but I
they-
have
they-
to check it out.
Fuck. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, but it's a James
They got
Patterson.
the one show, Bosch. That's on my mind. I need to give you to because it's like they good ass.
Alex
shows,
Cross.
so,
That's what it is. The Alex Cross
Oh, Alex
series.
Cross,
Yes.
yeah. Got you.
That series is like, so if you're into reading books and shit like that, what's that?
That's what Medea.
Okay, so Tyler Perry or whoever, yeah, maybe he did a couple of those.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so the Alex Cross series, if you like Lee Charles and you like and you like some of these damn, who was the other one I was about to say. But if you like the stuff that Lee Charles does, you'll like James Patterson, and you'll also like the Alex Cross series too. The Alex Cross series is dope. If you like the Jack Reacher series, you'll like the Alex Cross series, because I was reading the Alex Cross series, and one of my friends told me if you like Alex Cross, you'll love you'll love the Reacher series. And I started reading the Reacher series. I was like, I love them both. But then also James Patterson, he has so many series. He also outside of the Alex Cross series, right? He also has like this weird I call it the nursery rhyme series. They did a couple movies off of this too, where it was like Along Came a Spider was one of the books, and then Three Blind Mice. That'll be the name.
So you seen Handmaid's Tale?
No, I don't think I have.
Man, listen, bro. I don't know if you gotta finish write this shit down. I'm telling you, bro. Like every single one I'm giving you, just skim. Like them shit's good. Like Sneaky Pete too. Sneaky Pete, Handmaid's Tale.
What you said? Sneaky Link.
Boys, but Sneaky Pete.
Oh.
Handmaid's Tale. Listen, Handmaid's Tale is, or no, that's not. I'm thinking like Man in the High Castle. Man in the High Castle is what I'm thinking. But both of them is good, bro. Handmaid's Tale I think is on HBO maybe, but the one on Prime is Man in the High Castle. That Man in the High Castle, that shit is good, bro.
See, I may do better off like watching these, because I'm telling you, I'm really one of those people. There's certain things that after I've read them, I can't watch it. Like because your video and rendition of this sometimes does not match whatever was in the book or my mental rendition of it. like it really does suck. So like I'm gonna look into some of these. Like I'm telling you, like the Reacher series, I know I've heard about it. I just haven't got a chance to hop into it yet. And I think part of me is because I've read so many of the books. I'm scared to watch it. I think that's what it honestly is. Because I'm telling you, it's one of my series. I've honestly read at least 10 books in their series.
It's close to the book than the movie was, but if you started anything, bro, like I said, it was Sneaky Pete, it was Man in the High Castle, bro. That right there, bro. That shit is explosive. This is like if we would have lost like World War II almost. It's like a whole different time. It's a timepiece. Like if we would have lost World War II. Like it's just dope. You have to check it out, man. And Sneaky Pete is dope. It's a dude that got out of jail, but he was a cellmate with a guy named Pete, and so his cellmate would tell him all the stories. He had to see his grandparents since he was small, and he came home and went to his town and said he was the guy that was in jail. That was he ended up passing away or something, but he ended up being him, replacing him, and it just goes, bro. You just got it, man. That shit is so good. And Bosch is good too. The detective show is a detective show. Bosch is good as fuck.
See I'm sorry, like that sounds too much like a Miami Heat player, so I'm gonna have to I can't watch that one.
Yeah. Bosch not that Miami. Like nah, Bosch is a detective show, but it's good. I'm telling you. They got the dude from what's the Wire. The one, the dude with the scar on his face from The Wire. He a detective too.
You know what? I haven't seen enough of The Wire.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you why. I was too busy really watching Oz, and like almost everybody from Oz was in The Wire, and I was like,
right.
Why the fuck why don't you side hustle? Like you're always gonna be Adabisi to me. Like every time I see you, you're gonna be Bricks. I'm gonna ask you, hey, do you want some teats? Like,
no, I don't think Adabisi wasn't in the Wire like that though. It was Lucky from Paid Full was in there.
I know Bricks was in there. And
a couple people would say you're right, but it's good, bro.
Listen, it's one of the Wire's one of the shows. Ever. Yeah, the Wire's one of those shows I know I always needed to watch. Just listen, there's a bunch of shows that are on my. But I'm gonna tell you what ends up happening. I'm a big animation person, right? So what happens is that the equal passion I have for like a lot of these, I also have for random animation shit. And I have a lot easier time putting on animation shit. That you know what I mean?
So
Like,
you seen? Gotcha. You say you seen the new Transformers?
no, what you know?
You watched that?
No, I haven't seen the Transformer. I didn't like the. You know what?
Oh man.
The early Transformer movies I did not like. They were too. It was too confusing to me. What the fuck was going on sometimes? Like you know
I'm talking about an anime, like the cartoons, like it's an anime.
I don't know. They have a new one. I haven't watched the new one yet. The last time I've
It's
seen
on
it,
Netflix.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go check it out. 'Cause I haven't seen a Transformer thing in a while.
You in the sci-fi though, aren't you? You in the sci. You watch Star Trek Discovery?
I haven't. There was the Star Trek, the last Star Trek movie I've seen. I forgot. I've seen the first 2 Star Trek movies. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of movies.
This is
Or I should, or I don't. Oh, the series? No, I don't.
With the chick. It's the chick Sasha. You watch The Walking Dead?
Hey, wait, but that's what the black chick in it, right? Oh, is that
Yes.
her?
Yeah, the black chick.
Oh.
Yes, Sasha, like
okay.
she the lead man.
Oh,
She bro.
Okay. You
This
know what?
show, listen,
You know
Star
what?
Trek Discovery ain't nothing but a full length movie film in a series. This shit is so good.
Now
bro.
you talking about? You know
It's so good.
I'll go ahead and watch that.
That the Mandalorian and Boba Fett, all of that shit is that shit is so good, bro.
See,
I mean, it's written so well. Everything is so good.
My problem with the
That
Star
shit amazing, bro.
my problem with the Star Wars shit though is that I still need to watch all of the original shit all over again so I can catch the fuck back up. Like, you understand? Like, I'm that person. Like, I need to go back to the beginning and I need to watch like all of that Clone Wars and all of that animation shit all over again so that I can even start watching the new shit. Like, I honestly need to spend a month watching nothing but Star Wars. But I have an anime addiction. Like, listen, you understand? Like, I'm rewatching Naruto for some reason. From the beginning. For, like, the 5th time. Like, I've watched it once, like, probably on my computer. Then I watched it once regularly when they first had it. Then I watched it again with my niece. And then I think I've watched it already. Then I'm watching it now. And I'm like, yeah, for some reason I'm watching it all over from the beginning. And also because it becomes easy background shit for me to watch. Like, when there's nothing else to do, I'm like, put on Naruto. And then let that shit run for 7 episodes. And that way I don't really have to pay attention to it. But I can still catch on the little shit that I maybe didn't see the first 4 times around. Which kind of always happens. Because this is how loosely I like to watch shit as background a lot. Maybe that's what it is. I like to be able to watch shit while I'm doing shit. And shit that I need to focus on, I put that shit aside. So I guess with animation, I'm able to watch it and not have to fully pay attention. But to watch a movie, I have to sit there and watch it. And sometimes I have to really set aside 2 hours to do that. And it feels uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm weird. But alright. I think we've wasted enough time. I think we've given KJ more than enough time to try to sneak in here. I hope you guys hit him up already when I asked y'all to. But you know what? We're just gonna get into it. First topic of the day. I had, as you guys know, I like to start the podcast talking a little bit of Knicks. There was a lot of shit happening. I was gonna go from the Knicks talk, and then I was gonna transition into all of those 50 burgers and buzzer beaters from Friday. Well, all the buzzer beaters from Friday, and then start getting into the 50 burgers from the weekend. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers was just eating shit up, sounding like Giannis and shit. You know what I mean? Got Phil Jackson up in the stands, and over here's like, yo, you know what? You up there? Let me go put up a quick 50 for you. You know what I mean? Show these motherfuckers I still got it, and then talk about them. Just, you know, I was gonna do all that shit, but then I got derailed. KJ hit me up randomly, and he was like, "Babe, I know that you normally say save this energy for the podcast, but if I was anybody that I know I needed to talk about with this shit, I know it's you." He was like, "Them dirty birds," and I was like, "Wait, what?" He said, "Them dirty birds," which, as you guys know, when we say "them dirty birds," automatically we know we talk about the Atlanta Falcons, right? He's like, "Dumb, dirty birds." And I'm like, "Don't tell me." Right? He's like, "Dumb, dirty birds." And I'm like, "Matt Ryan got fired?" He's like, "Dumb, dirty birds." I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, what happened? Like they signed another quarterback? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Damn dirty birds, Calvin Ridley." And I'm like, "Calvin Ridley?" Like, yes. He's like, he got suspended for a year for betting on football games. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know if you guys ever used to watch a show called a show called fuck. It really just slipped out of my head. Hank Hill. What's the Hank Hill shit? King of the Hill. King of the Hill? That's not King of the Hill. King of the Hill is actually a real show. What show was the Hank Hill show? King of the Hill. Right? With the motherfuckers in the alleyway. And the motherfucker Millhouse. Millhouse? Not Millhouse. That's Bart Simpson now. But the grown motherfucker with the Indian kid. What was that shit? What's the Hank Hill show called?
It is King of the Hill. What are you talking about?
It is? Okay. I wasn't sure. But as soon as that happened, all I can hear in my head was whoa, no! What the hell is that? I'm gonna get cut for this. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted.
Definitely on the bench.
But all I can hear is Hank Hill when anytime he talked to his son Bobby, talking about dumbass. Wait, was that King of the Hill? Or was that the 70s show? Dumbass.
Neither one of them.
I think it was the 70s show.
Let's talk about it. I need you to write this down too. Like
King of the Hill was Damn It, Bobby.
Phil,
and the 70s show was Dumbass. Damn it, Bobby. Yeah, the 70s show was.
I need you to write this down.
Okay, what we writing down?
Jokic. And then Phil Jackson. Jokic and Phil Jackson. It remind me about some shit we need to talk about.
Okay.
Phil Jackson and Jokic. One more thing that I can't remember. But we can go ahead to this Calvin Ridley shit.
So, Calvin Ridley, right? So, as much as my first response, I'm laughing. I'm laughing my ass off based off the full dumb assery of this whole event, right? The fact that he got caught betting on football games. I'm like, really? How dumb could you be? KJ starts joking around. He's like, he must have pissed somebody off because who the fuck would have known that he was betting on football games? Like, honestly, like how the fuck would have anybody have found out unless, like, I was like, listen, either that or he was bragging to the wrong person. You know what I mean? That he already that already just didn't like him for hating reason. Like, or he said that shit in an NFL locker room, and you know NFL locker rooms are mic'd up anyway. Yes, folks. And Jerry Jones has admitted that shit. NFL locker rooms are mic'd up. So don't be surprised, like, if it was one of the, he either pissed off, he either pissed off some broad, or he bragged to the wrong person, or he bragged in the wrong place. And if he was talking about that shit in the NFL locker room, then he's even bigger dumbass. But then, I realized, really how, what's that? Talk to me, Chill.
Do they normally do this, or they do? Is this a thing that NFL players do? Yes or no?
Yes, they do gamble.
The NFL. Do NFL players readily, in your estimation, bet readily on games?
Now, there's a caveat in here, right? They do bet on games, but they don't bet on NFL games. And that's the other part of this.
NFL games.
Yeah, so that's the other part of this.
We're not talking about NFL games. Their own games. The other NFL games.
Well, he did a little bit of both. Calvin bet on NFL games and on his games in a parlay. So he did a little bit of both.
Behavior.
What's that?
Is this normal behavior? This is a conversation I had earlier. Is this normal behavior?
I don't know if NFL players are betting on NFL games. They shouldn't be, because that's how you get yourself because so this is what added to me about the dumbass this is a foolish action, because they can bet on basketball games, they can bet on baseball games, they can bet on hockey, they can bet on horse racing, they can bet on anything. You just can't bet about games in your sport. So why the fuck were you doing it? Like, you can gamble.
Number one, who's it stopping? Number one. Number two, do you think it happens? The question is, do you think people do it?
I say no. I don't think there are players out there betting on games in their sport because of the fear of the I think players truly fear the repercussions of betting on games in their sport. Now, can they convince a family member to bet on a certain game? That's something different. I don't know. Bet on, definitely put money. We gonna win this motherfucking game.
Okay. So thank you. That's all I was getting to.
Yeah.
So,
is there some insider trading that may happen? Or as we really call it, the hookup, right?
Thank you. So I be damn if I don't. I be damn. Listen, I know the Cleveland Browns. I know we suck, and I know this, and I know we might be. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I put 15 racks or 30 racks on the other team, because I know we suck. I know our offensive guard down. I know OBJ just got hurt. Nobody know that yet. I know this. 30 racks. Now, I might not do it as me. I might give it to my mama to go make a bet. Fine. But at the end of the day, these niggas do it all the time because they got the best. Why would you be stupid not to bet on your own games? And you got all the information you need to know to make a reasonable bet. It just be dumb, especially if I can make money. Or even better, like if the odds are such and such, like, man, no, man. I know we can at least cover the spread, because I know Tom Brady ain't right. I know, you know what I'm saying? I just know our team. I'm confident in my team. So I can put 50 racks on this, right? You know what I'm saying? And triple up. Who gonna say it? I'm not gonna do it on my name, but even if you do it on 40 racks, somebody had to tell it, like a scoring woman had to say something. But overall, bro, you can't tell me if I suck, even if I'm not stand to make double, even if it's just, KC over the Browns by 10 points, and I'm sure that we're gonna probably get blown out. Look, why not? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna tell me no? I'm put 50 racks to make about 75, maybe not 100 or so. I make 75 racks off of that. That's 25 racks I just made. Just to bet on a game, just to tell my mama or my brother or my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? The fuck? That's easy. I give them 5,000, put 20 in my. If you ain't doing that, you dumb. I feel like you stupid. And you stupid if you ain't doing that. And I think most dudes, like gamblers, they do that.
So then let me ask you then. If you know everybody is betting on their games, and they're using a third party for some foreseen reason, how do you feel about the person that is foolish enough to do it under their real name?
Dumb.
Okay.
That's why I was just adding. And you know how young and dumb?
That's what I said. He's a dumb. He did it. That's what I heard. Right. Exactly.
You're
That's
right.
what I heard. He's dumbass. Like, why? Because ultimately,
and you're right.
Yeah, you can go listen because two things, right? You can bet on every sport under your own name, every other sport besides yours. But then you can use a third party. Come on now, if ever people are doing this, then you heard about them doing this. You got a vet somewhere that told you how to do this. You have somebody or a friend somewhere that be like, yeah, I use this and this, and yeah, because listen. Listen, I feel like I'm quoting a lot of D.L. Hughley today. I don't know if you guys caught the earlier reference, right? But I feel like we all know right now. I don't know if this is DL Yuga. Maybe this one is Chris Rock. I'm quoting a lot of comedians today. We all know if you ever about to do something wrong, there's an older black person in that room that's going to tell you exactly what their punishment for that is. Nigga, don't do that. That's 5 to 10. You know there was somebody like, hey, don't go home using your account pimping. Like, you know they're going to suspend you for the year if you do that shit. Go ahead and use a third party. Like, go tell your cousin, maybe go tell your mama. Like, yo, have your brother do that shit. But don't do that shit yourself. You going to fuck yourself, you know what I mean? You know somebody told him. Somebody gave him that. Listen, that line ain't saying exactly like that, but it sounded exactly like that. Somebody dropped some info on the skis and was like, hey, yo, make sure you don't use your real account. And this motherfucker used his real account.
Why do you think he did it? He ain't the only one that did it. He probably just the only one that got outed for it. He must have pissed somebody off. KJ Wright. That's the first thing I thought. But why do you think he did it? And
in a weird way,
because he was missing games.
He was
missing games, so he might need that money.
I think he was missing games. Also, I think maybe in a weird way, he thought that because I'm not playing, maybe if I'm not playing, maybe I could bet on my own sport. You know what I mean? If I'm not in the game to influence it or whatever. Like I don't know. Like shit.
That makes sense.
But you can't though. But there was a case of that in 2019 or whatever. That's what somebody thought in 2019. Like, yo, I don't think I'm playing or whatever. Like, I'm not playing. I'm in an injured reserve or some shit like that. And he started betting on games. Like that was the last time a player got suspended for a whole year. Like, I didn't know about that in 2019. Just to let you guys know. Like I said, it's because it's the Atlanta Falcons, and we make fun of the Atlanta. Like, you understand? Like, you know how it's weird. I feel like, so you know how like in certain sports like for instance. Everything that Dallas Cowboys does, Stephen A. Smith jumps all over it. I feel like that's how we are about the Atlanta Falcons. Everything the Atlanta Falcons do, we overhype here on the Mighty Sports. Like, it's hyper focused here on the Mighty Sports Podcast because we've been trying to hold Matt Ryan accountable forever. So now we just poke fun of them. We just poke them any chance that we can get. I think it's just second nature by this point. But that we notice on. I'm telling you, 2019, I can't even tell you who the fuck it was in 2019 anymore. Like, I have that shit saved in my phone. But in 2019, there was...
Listen, you can't tell me that's not an NBA player that going into a game 6 or something, knowing that we got to win this game. And I'm pretty confident that we got to do it, that I'm not going to put more incentive on whatever, put 50 racks, 100 racks on this game. Not me, but I'm going to end up getting it on there. You know what I'm saying? And that we, especially with the underdogs, and I feel like we got this team locked, like on the hook. Like, yeah, we about to end, you know what I'm saying? Game 6, we about to send them home. People think they still gonna the other team gonna win. We underdogs for some odd reason, 2-1, 3-1, because we playing at their house. I'm putting 100 racks. Everybody get paid, and when I win, and you never really know why these players be so happy. You're like, why is motherfucker crying? Well, he just won $1 million. He just won $1 million on this game.
He's like, oh, why is he crying?
Like,
man, he bet $1 million on this game, and he just lost $1 million. Now you gotta spend that shit to his wife.
Right. Exactly. People have no idea what's going on behind the scenes with this shit, and so even with like that being said, like you got people that's third stringers that are great can prognose the games. And they're probably the next great coach. Is probably sit on the bench on third string on special teams. Like, you know what, this team ass. I'm about to go. I only get paid $300,000 a year. How about I go ahead and put this 10 racks? I know we about to lose, and make another 5 racks, maybe depending on what the case may be. Like, I'm pretty sure like it be dudes that do that, man. It gotta be. Or I can just flat out say, I bet I beat you next week, 20 racks. You know there's people that say that.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't got to be going to the bookie. You know what I'm saying? Me against you, I bet 20 racks, so I beat y'all next week.
Well, we know players bet amongst themselves in games, and I think that's highly acceptable because because that's a gentleman's bet and a handshake. Like, yo, I bet we gonna beat your ass. All right, bet we gonna beat your ass. All right, 50 stacks. 50
That's
stacks
still illegal though.
Huh?
That's still illegal though.
It's not though.
They can't do that
That's
shit.
not illegal.
That is illegal.
No.
What? I bet you it's illegal. Listen, if I say I bet you $50,000 that we win next week, our team win, and your team lose, let somebody find out that somebody was doing that. Watch this suspicious come down. Watch.
Man, we saw.
It probably do happen all the
Listen,
time.
we've seen Kobe bet in game about missing and making a free throw.
That's a free throw. We talking about the games.
I'm just saying. We know that. I think that.
I bet.
No.
Or look. I bet they gonna lose. I bet you when KD play Philly, they gonna lose. Like me and you right here. I bet. I betting on the game. But we ain't got nothing on stake. I play for Golden State.
No. The bet
I
is
bet you
no.
can't be.
Nah, the bet usually has to be between players and their own. Like, yo, me and you. Like, we about to go head to head.
Man, listen, bro. All that shit illegal though. You can't do that shit. That's still betting. That's betting on the game. I'm not to say it don't happen. My point is that they do it. You know what I'm saying? They do it all the time, and that's why Calvin really must have pissed somebody off, because you talking about you got you autistic or something. You got psychological problems, and you in there out here betting on games and shit. So I don't know, bro. Something happened. Somebody outed him to TMZ or something, and they couldn't prevent it. They can't get because it happens. I'll be damned if you think they in the locker room they not betting like, oh, I bet you Junkie put up 30 on their ass right now in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? I bet. That happens too much and too often. They not abnormal. Like they doing that.
Yeah.
It's no way they not.
Like I said, I think betting amongst themselves, I believe is okay, right? I think that they turn a blind eye to that. It's when they start betting professionally. You know what I mean? Like through. Remember, gambling was also illegal for a while.
James Harden. Hey, I got 100 on this game. I'm throwing you 20 if you whoop their ass for me.
Who says that?
Or I got 150 on Brooklyn. If y'all losing in the fourth quarter, you know you just ain't lose. How about you just sit at fake an injury, go down in the fourth so y'all can lose by 15 for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just sit down. So give me a chance of, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell me that don't happen, bro. You can't tell me that don't happen. Like if y'all losing, I mean, I ain't saying you gotta do that, but like if y'all losing, feel like you ain't go ahead, right, sit out, or even have halftime. If I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like that happens, bro. You can't tell me that don't happen. Like I just gotta, bro. And I throw you a couple. I throw you 20, 25K after the game. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that shit happens, bro. I can't imagine it not happening because too much money to be made. It's just that, and plus, you can see something. What they getting paid is really what they getting paid. They get taxed so much, bro. When you see a $10 million contract a year, they not getting $10 million. They getting like $6 million out of that.
We know.
Probably a year.
We know like half. Actually,
You know what I'm saying?
Like we know that.
Yeah, so they get that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, well, I need to make that shit up back.
Wait, unless you live in Florida, Texas. You know what I mean? Like, listen, come down to listen. I'm just saying.
Indiana, maybe. I think Indiana might be like that.
I can't remember how Indiana was.
It's a couple states. You're right.
I'm in Florida, right? Because we don't pay no state
still
tax.
federal tax a motherfucker though. You still gotta pay federal tax, regardless.
Listen, you hear athletes talk about it all the time. Whatever you say that you're about to get, just know that you're only gonna get. Especially once you start making $1 million. Like, if you make $1 million, you made $500,000. Because Uncle Sam is gonna take half of that. Like, listen, you hear people talk about the lottery. I won the lottery for $250 million. By the time taxes came out, I had 125. Okay, so 125 million. Yeah, but lotto person. But when you sign contract shit, but yeah, no. They're like you start hitting different brackets and shit. And that's the reason why athletes as millionaires and billionaires are the ones that are really paying taxes versus the people that they work for, right? Who always keep finding ways to avoid paying taxes. You know what I mean? Because they find all the exemptions and the loopholes and because, hey, think about this, right? Because now you got me going into it. You're Johnson & Johnson, right? You realize that every single time that players want more shit, that's more of a business write-off. I have to buy more. I gotta pay for a stadium. I gotta pay for a facility. I gotta get a training facility. I gotta get them these coaches. I gotta get them these trainers. I gotta get them these nutritionists. They write you. I just think. You know what? I'm thinking. I'm realizing that a sports team may be a whole write-off.
Man.
To justify paying players.
Tell me about it.
Like wait a minute.
Loopholes on top of loopholes.
Wait a minute. Am I behind the curve and just realizing this shit, or like, wait a minute?
Ma, but for real, those laws don't apply just to the rich people. That shit, I'm learning, bro. I've been reading a lot and doing a lot of like pods and shit.
This is why I love you, Chill Will.
Money.
Like Chill
Will.
Will.
A lot of that shit.
Chill Will, you about to say some shit? I'm just gonna let you know beforehand, before you say whatever the fuck you gonna say. This is why I love you.
Yeah, but for real. Love you too, bro, because that shit is not only applicable to rich folks. Like they may have the secrets, and it's in a book though. That's what's crazy. You could use the same shit. You could do the same shit. Like you could start a company and do the same shit a lot of times in the same ways they do it, or get all the write-offs and like different tax brackets and get like loopholes. But it just takes some work and takes some shit that normally motherfuckers wouldn't just normally do because they're lazy.
You know what I need to do? I need to find a way to sponsor a local team. That's what I need to do. I like a local kids team. I can get some write-offs.
It's crazy that
the
you said that.
Legacy team, remember the baseball team?
That's so crazy you said that because that's one of the things I actually want to start learning how to find sponsors. Because you can, like, say for your MyT, like you can get, I can go out and do it this way, and that's a write-off for somebody, and that's how you pitch it to somebody. That's what I want to learn. That's got to be an art. You know what I'm saying? Once you get into that world, you probably can find, because the people that's willing to throw away money on Wendy's, a key bank. You know what I'm saying? And finding sponsors is probably an art. If you get to the right people and get in the right rooms, you probably can just sponsor a lot of shit. Like a karaoke event. Sometimes I do the karaoke zone a couple nights a week when I'm not actually doing DJing. And so, we have contests. So as opposed to me putting up $1,000, I gotta go ahead and find. That's one thing that I was going to actually find out how to really go. I don't know the Marks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The Home Depot, and find out how can you sponsor $500 for this? Give me a big ass sign. It's gonna be this contest sponsored by Home Depot type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's some shit I gotta learn, man. Because you probably can make money off of that. Because all the shit that you don't need, you just making money. You got a bunch of sponsors on your motherfucking wall in the back. Why not? It's places you might go to anyway.
Listen, you know what? You know what? As you tripping, I got space for it. Listen, I already got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Podbean, Twitch, and TikTok up there for free, right?
Right. It ain't got to be the what's right.
Actually, you know what?
It got to be targets.
So give me a second.
It can be local businesses.
Actually, give me a second.
You know what I'm saying?
So if you like the Mighty Sports podcast, this spot right here could be for you. How would you like to hear your business being talked about on the Mighty Sports podcast? Not only will we give you your own spot and your own commercial, we'll go ahead and we'll work out schematics, but we will also get yourself a nice little logo over here on the sides of the podcast as well. And don't worry, we have a demographic, as you can see. We can reach all over the world. It is primarily a male demographic between the ages of 18 and 55. All you have to do is contact us at mytsports@gmail.com, and we will work it out, and you can start hearing your business right here. Sorry, go ahead, Chill Will. Some spontaneous shit, sorry.
Sorry, that's a segue. That was a segue, bro. But that's some real shit, man. And so that's some shit I've been delving into lately because I've just been trying to take shit to the next level. And, and then a lot of times it might not be a Home Depot. It might just be we got something called the Lincoln Lizard. The Winking Lizard. We got the Melt, like that.
Wait, what do you say about the Lincoln Lizard?
The Winking Lizard is like a regional or local, like those corporate but not corporate, like those just regional chains. They're just in your city or your area because they still growing. They ain't got there yet, but they still good shit. They just right before you blow up type shits. Just regional. And it's like a lot of regional spots. They got 2 or 3 restaurants You know what I mean? Maybe in that area, like winking lizards in one of them, and then we got a place called Melt where they do like grilled cheese, but they do like gourmet grilled cheese where they got all types, man. You got peanut butter grilled cheese, they got fucking, fish, they got burgers, they got meatloafs, they got it's all kinds of places. We got the tacos, we got burritos, you put Fruit Loops on the tacos, you got the hot dogs, like they got specialty hot dogs, like all these local shits in Cleveland. Cleveland is like a small baby mecca for food anyway. Like outside of the greats, like we're like a baby mecca. You know what I'm saying? When you come here, it's like a gourmet shit. So it's got a lot of those local restaurants you can just go to and just gotta get sponsored. You know what I'm saying? That fuck with you, that you fuck with. That may be like, oh yeah, I'll give you $500 you know what I'm saying, to advertise, or a couple $100 to advertise, you know what I'm saying? It all it takes to convince, you know what I'm saying? Really, that's all it takes to convince. You know what I mean? So or however, you can slap that shit, get a magnet, slap that shit on the side of your car. If you, I mean, saying it's a lot of different ways you can work that shit. But that's what I'm delving into now, man, because it's just some shit that people don't normally do that you probably make a couple dollars off of. And you get enough of them motherfuckers, and you get a little passive income, then you good, man. That shit work. Believe me, I've been hustling, so it can work a little bit. You know what I mean? And if it's temporary or forever, you still building relationships as long as you do business right, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I'm trying to get going out this way, so I can just get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Because if I get to this podcast and shit full time, bro, shit, we might have to beat the street out there in Florida too. Fuck it, I don't mind. Florida to Cleveland.
Listen, hey, from Florida to from Cleveland to my city, we get it. Oh, I'm realizing.
Absolutely.
My tea.
Lighten it up. So that light it up when you lighten it up that sky.
Yo, so let's continue to talk Calvin Ridley just a little bit, right? Because okay, so as I was telling you, the guy in 2019, his name was Josh Shaw, and we definitely had a podcast in 2019. Just to let you guys know, right? This is season 7 of the podcast. We definitely had a podcast in 2019.
The NFL.
So there have been 5 players in the NFL that have been suspended for gambling. There was 2 in 1963, Alex Karras and Paul Hornung. Right? Sorry. And then 20 years later, in 1983, there was Art Schilter. You know, I need to put this on Mark mode. I need to get this on Mark Vision. There we go. That's so much better. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. Mark Vision is really efficient. I'm over here squinting and shit, having a hard time trying to read that shit on normal fucking what's that shit called? Roman text font 8. Like, nah, bitch. I just need to put that shit on Mark Vision. Like, Mark Vision is efficient as fuck. 1963, Alex Karras. 1963, Paul Hornung. 1983, Art Schitlicher. This nigga sound like
shit literature.
Yeah, it sounds like shit. It sounds like shit and literature in the same word. Shitliture. Sorry, whoever the fuck you are. But you're another dumbass. You shouldn't be betting on the game. And then in 2019, when we definitely had in 1983, I was 2. Like, I didn't even know about this motherfucker. Like this motherfucker wasn't even on a radar that I had. I don't even know if radars were invented in 1983. But this motherfucker... I'm joking. We had radars in 1983. I know for a fact that we had radars in 1983. I think we had radars in 1963 too. I think we've had radars for well over a century by now. But it was definitely in the 1900s. It's so funny. Right? I'm gonna go left field again because that's what we do on this podcast. I told you, like, we don't talk a lot of baseball, but we go left field all the motherfucking time on this podcast. Right? And fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. All right, so what? All right, so 2019, right? Like, No, okay, wait. I was talking about Josh, our art shitless year, 1983. Wasn't even born yet. I was 2. What the fuck was I about to say after that? I was 2. Well, how the fuck was I gonna do a weird ass segue? I don't know. I was gonna go with left field, but 2019. It is the drink. That's that rattling sound. Let's let you guys know. If you listen to the re-air of the podcast, right, and you wonder what that little rattling sound is, that right there is my drink. It's my vodka and lemonade.
That's where your memory's going.
Yes. Listen, I've had a couple of drinks throughout my lifetime, right? No. Like, you understand, you go through phases throughout your life. Between the ages of probably of 10 to probably about 16, right?
You start drinking?
It was wine coolers and white rum only,
Yep.
right? And then from like age like 16 to 20, let's see, before I went to Germany, right? So from 16 to about 21, it was Hennessy and Coke. And then from about like 21 to 23, it was vodka and Red Bull. And then from like 23 till 2019, maybe 18, 17, 16 maybe, right? But it was somewhere around there, like between 16 and 19. So for easily like 15 years, it was cranberry and vodka. It really was. Like, I fell in love with vodka. Like, Germany made me fall in love with vodka. And that is why I always tell you guys the progression of rap stars' realization of how to sell liquor. Where most rappers always, or most entertainers, they usually go with the thank you, baby, for sharing my podcast. Yo, I gotta tell you some shit about my baby. Cause my baby really is amazing. Like not only is she like my number one fan, like she makes sure like she goes out there and she like shares and shares all of my shit. And listen. I'm gonna tell you now, right? She does a whole lot more for me than a lot of you bitches do. You understand? Listen. There's a lot of you motherfuckers that I'm trying to interview for the motherfucking podcast, all right, and try to get on here, and ain't none of you motherfuckers liking and sharing my shit. You need to step your game up and start liking and sharing the motherfucking podcast, okay? Subscribe so you can hear that little motherfucking that little motherfucking, what is that shit? That little motherfucking every time I motherfucking go on air, alright? Shit, you slacking on your pimping. If I tell you I want you in the motherfucking podcast, then you need to start being a fan of the motherfucking podcast. Because after that interview, I'm gonna be watching you. And then listen, and if you ain't liking and sharing everything, I may just drop you. I'm just saying. But my baby is my number one fan. Because a lot of you motherfuckers, I told you I want to interview. Like, y'all ain't even stepped up yet. But I get it. You want the interview first, and you probably step up. That's not a lot of motherfuckers. A lot of motherfuckers is, what is the show me state? There's a show me state out there. Is that Jersey? Is that Philly? Who's the show me state? I know that's one of them. But, yeah, a lot of people have the show me state mentality. Missouri is the show me state? Misery? Fucking misery? Like Fort Leavenworth and oh my god, Missouri is the show me state? There is nothing to be shown in Missouri. I've been to Missouri. That's where St. Louis is, right? I've been to, you understand? It's misery for real. Like the worst army prison is like, or the major army prison, the worst army prison, only army prison. I don't know what the fucking what is, but the fucking military prison is in Fort Leavenworth, Missouri. You understand? And everybody that gets stationed there calls that motherfucking misery. I have visited the Lou. You understand? One of my homegirls, she was from the Lou and she moved to Indiana. And I'm telling you, Indiana ain't that motherfucking impressive either, right? And she moved from St. Louis to go to motherfucking Indiana. I'll tell you about the Lou. While motherfucking Nelly's talking, I'm going down the rover. Yo, go on the motherfucking art. There are one tourist attraction. That big ass art arch, that big ass motherfucking arch. Go to the top of that shit. Go to the top of that shit and look at the city. Go ahead and look at the scenery that they want you to see, and tell me you don't feel like puking in your motherfucking mouth. It is disgusting. It doesn't look like anything. Like there's nothing aesthetically pleasing about the view they're about to show you. You might as well watch a turtle shit. I'm just saying. Sorry about anybody from St. Louis. But Missouri, I didn't realize Missouri was. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't. This wasn't supposed to be a tirade about Missouri. I just didn't realize who the show me state was. I got sidetracked a little.
We were talking about this guy named Literature and the history.
Art, no shit literature. Who got suspended for betting? Oh, who's the dumbass who got suspended in the NFL in 1983?
How did you get to Missouri from players that got suspended?
Because people that I told them that they wanted to interview, I want to interview on the podcast. They're not sharing the podcast at a rate that they should be. But I guess they're part of the show me state that they want to. Well, actually, you know what? It completely makes sense now. They're part of the show me state. They live in misery, and they're not going to share the podcast until I get them on the podcast and give them their interview, because then they'll have a reason to share the podcast. Listen, you're going to hear this podcast. You realize I'm talking shit about all of you, but it's okay. That's what I do here. We talked about me being truthful early on the podcast and how it may come off as me being an asshole. But all you know that I'm doing, I'm holding you accountable, and I love you all. I do, in your own little weird, quirky way. Like, you understand, it may be 1% love or 100% love, but I love you all in some kind of way. There's really only one person. I say one person to have. There's only one person outside of my family. That's a lie. Okay. Because Lewis is in there. But I consider Lewis family. Okay, there's only one person outside of my family that also has 100% of my love, and that's my sugars. Okay, so the rest of you motherfuckers, like you understand? Like, you guys are between 1 and motherfucking. I can't even put you as 99. You're like between 1 and 81. So get your ass up to 81 so that we can vibe. Listen, them other 19 spots are reserved for, because family can fall to 82. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to love family, but they can get on your motherfucking nerves. But they can't fall below. They can't fall below 81. Like, they ain't strangers. You just gotta keep them at a distance. You could have people that you love to death, like your people's, not family, but people's, like the friends and shit that you love to death, but you have to love them from a distance. You understand? Like, you fully have to love them from a distance. And you couldn't be around them every day. But also, there's certain of my friends, I don't know if I could be around them every day. Listen, we've gone out of town for 3 days, and we was already cussing each other out on day 2. Like, you understand? Like I am not easy to deal with.
He's not. I'll vouch for that.
See, I knew that was gonna get me a skirt. I knew the ad lib was coming. Like I said, you listen. But when you get this deep into the game, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to stand them.
You have some really good friends, because your friends have been through. I can only imagine the thick and thin that you guys have endured throughout your friendships. I commend them.
You know what's funny? I think so for Lewis and Darnell, I want to say that our bond, right, may have been cemented on similar in altercations, right? Me and Lewis have been friends for a while, maybe months, right? Not a while, but months, right? But we was really cool, right? And you can see the bond budding at that time. We were young. We were like 12, right? We were Knicks fans, and the Knicks held us down. Patrick Chewin, was over there eating up the competition and shit like that. You know what I mean? He was Jamaican. Lewis was Puerto Rican. We was having fun. Like, John Starks looked kind of Puerto Rican. Like, it was all Gucci, right? And then Lewis got beef with somebody. And listen, don't let you know. I'm gonna let you guys know. That whole know when to hold them, know when to fold them shit. I was gonna segue back into Calvin Ridley, but we got here into storytelling mode. Just to let you know, I was setting it back up. So if you guys think like, oh, this nigga completely forgot, no, that know when to hold them, know when to fold them. That was a whole segue about Calvin Ridley's dumbass about betting on his whole games again. But we got into story mode. So back to our original scheduled program, right? So. Hey, what did I say earlier? We gonna freestyle the fuck out of this today. You said it was the best podcast. Isn't this a good ass podcast, baby? She
Hell
shaking.
yeah.
Okay. So
MyT.
sports and other ish. Tell me heavy on that ish on this. If there's one thing we're heavy on that
What
podcast.
time the podcast start?
8:07 ish. We are heavy on our ish on this podcast. Understand? Ish. Listen, ish rules everything around me. Cream get the money. $9 billion. Right? So
It's time for bed.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm at the second bottom of this cup, and I don't know if I can get to the bottom of this cup. Like I can feel my eyes doing the weird eye thing. You know what I mean? So, Lewis and I, Knicks fans, all kinds of weird bonds. We had both just got to, oh shit, Greg Popovich ties Don Nelson for first. Spurs win over Lakers draws Popovich even with Don Nelson for most coach wins in NBA history. Breaking news here on the Mighty Sports Podcast. Listen, by 11:40, we normally off the air, so there must have been a reason why we still talking Knicks. I don't even got the motherfucking Knicks game on.
Bing bong.
This nigga is so retarded.
I still didn't get the Knicks game on. I can't believe I forgot to put the Knicks game on. So Lewis and I, right, big Knicks fans, right,
For the 5th time.
bonded over all kinds of shit. And then what ended up happening was that, like, we're both from New York. We both just got to Florida, right? I was in Florida a little bit before him, and then he probably came shortly after, like after the school year. We both came here the same school year, right? But we came in the school year at different times. And like I said, like it's funny because New Yorkers do have a problem almost everywhere they go because for some, like, either our mannerisms, some people may want to this is, I guess the word is try you, right? Or test you, or I'm trying to think of any other subtle words that isn't slang, right? but they all escape me at this current time as I've consumed my second alcoholic beverage, right? Right? But you have individuals, right, that they may wanna entice your anger in times, and this happened to me, right? Because for whatever reason, I remember getting to my first fight like immediately as soon as I got down here. It was a tie. It may have been actually it was a tie, which basically, like, cause that's what people said, but I don't like ties. Like if we got tied in a fight, then I lost.
The point of this story is that you and Lewis
It was my first loss too. Like I hated that shit.
just said it was a tie.
Cause they called it a tie, but I don't like ties. Like either I won or I lost. And if you say I tied, then I lost. You know fucking ties. Fuck out of here. I lost, nigga. Like I didn't have no lumps or bruises and shit like that. I just lost. I didn't win. You don't win, you lose.
He got too many licks on you. That's what that means.
So what the fuck did I get on him? Too many
Not
licks?
Not that many licks.
So how the fuck was it a tie?
It wasn't no tie. They was trying to make you feel better.
Ooh, his friends? His friend said that shit. I wasn't going over my people, they're biased. My friends told me I whooped his ass. His friend said it was a tie. I'm going over what they said.
Yeah, something just flew across your radar.
So, I have my own beef. Lewis comes in, he has some beef, right? But what was ironic about it, right? Not the dude that I fought, but for some individuals that tried me later on, right? It was two individuals that tried to intimidate me. And what ended up happening is that, like, I showed them, what happens easily. You show bullies that you're not willing to back down, and that you got just enough crazy in you to not only fight them today, but come after them every single day after this until neither one of them could ever sleep in peace. And they realize how far you're willing to go for your revenge, right? Motherfuckers don't fuck with you. Well, the same I want to intimidate newcomers to the school, especially New Yorkers, whatever, that tried that shit on me. They tried that shit on Lewis, right?
The next game?
Huh?
The next game?
Yeah, the next game's coming up. Baby, stop it. You see, you trying to play on my...
You do have editors. Like, what? You really do.
They tried the same thing with Lewis, right? Like I said, we had been friends at this point in time. And honestly, you know when they say, like, sometimes the universe aligns perfectly? Well, me and Lewis only had one class together. Only one class. And it happened to be my favorite subject. Math. Accounting was a little bit more money. Which is something else I gotta talk about, people. Right? For all you motherfuckers that like to share that meme, right? Or like to like to put out that little meme that like to say that, oh, like I'm getting real use out of how plants go through photosynthesis. You know what I mean? Instead of having to do my taxes, they offered accounting in school. You chose gym, wood shop. You chose home ec. You understand? They gave you an option. I had a nice mean little black Jamaican woman that was my accounting teacher that taught me how to file my goddamn taxes. You chose the wrong subject. I also chose woodshop. I also took basketball and basketball 2 and basketball 3. But I also took accounting because I wanted to know how to fucking function with my money. Sorry. Like so don't use the excuse like, photosynthesis is really good to know during tax season.
They call them electives.
Yeah. They were electives. So you had a chance to choose what extra skill you wanted to learn. You wanted to learn how to run fast, and then you didn't even dress half the fucking time. So I don't want to hear that shit. You chose woodshop, but then got scared to work the fucking saw. Maybe if you would have chosen accountant, you would have been complaining about filing your taxes during tax season. Because guess what? I've also done my shit that self. It's not what the fuck you make it out to be. Go hire a fucking professional.
I thought this was a sports podcast.
This is a fucking This is a life podcast that revolves around sports. I don't think you guys have learned about that. This is a life podcast that revolves around motherfucking sports. So these motherfuckers try to fuck up Lewis too, right? And like I said, stars just aligned because not only had me and Lewis been cool, but they were also interrupting my favorite fucking subject. So ultimately, like I wasn't even paying attention to what the fuck was going on. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is fucking with my math class right now? And I look back and I'm like, see, that was my first response. Who the fuck is fucking with my math class? Because I was gonna get confrontational regardless. It's my favorite subject. We got this for two periods, like 5th and 6th. You know what I mean? No, that was New York. I was confused. 2 places. I get my shit jumbles. This is what happens when you party a lot and you go out every single weekend drinking and doing drugs. Like a lot after you do too many things too often.
Drugs.
Yeah, like, cocaine, mushrooms, marijuana. What's that shit? That liquid shit. I don't know. Xanax, like what? Like, come on, huh? Like, we all partied here. Listen, once I got out the army, I fully came to floor. I tell everybody this. I got out the army, and for 4 years, I fully wanted to live the college experience, and that's the reason why I partied like that for the first 4 years. Everybody met me, and then as soon as I turned 30, I switched everything over, and I went full serious.
Talon's girlfriend is 27. How old were you when you got out the army?
I was 25.
Oh wow! And now, how old are you?
Oh, you want it that way, don't you? You know.
You see how he didn't answer, right? Y'all see how he didn't answer the question, right?
Well, listen.
How old are you?
But listen,
how old are you?
What do you mean? How old am I? Like, I think.
Talon likes women in their prime.
Yes, I do.
Young women.
But you guys already know. Like,
how old are you, Talon?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Oh, you 40 years old?
Oh, yeah.
So your birthday coming up, you finna be 41. You gonna have to find a different fucking, whatever the drop that is. You gonna have to find a different drop, mister.
No doubt. But
yeah,
listen,
but
I'm gonna make my own. I'm a
Anyways,
man. I'm in my 40s.
moral of the story.
These motherfuckers tried Lewis, right? Right? So I turn around because I'm thinking like, yo, who the fuck interrupted my math class? And I turn around and it's Omar with his fucking gorilla fucking nostrils. And now he got two people. When he tried me, he had one person with him. I guess he realized if he was gonna do this again, he's gonna need more muscle. So he had two people with him. But I realized, oh, he didn't fucking with Lewis. That's my boy. Like, fuck that. He's a Knicks fan. Patrick Chewin. You know what I mean? Yonkers, nigga. Y.O. You know what I mean? What? Y.O. Brooklyn. Locks, nigga. Locks. I didn't even know the Locks was out there. Yeah, Locks, nigga.
So what happened next?
So I got up. And I popped up. I was like, yo, if you guys fuck with Lewis, you fucking with me. Like on some gangster shit. You know what I mean? That's how it was. Yo, you fuck with Lewis, you fucking with me. What the fuck you want to do, Omar? And I already had a problem with people named Omar because my oldest brother's name is Omar. Right? So I'm an expert on everybody named Omar. And all Omars are assholes.
I don't know.
So automatically they're like, so you know how they go like, yo, yo, T, my Wody, man, this ain't shit gonna do with you, my nigga, dog. You know what I mean? That's how they talk back then. You know what I mean? And I was like, it got something to do with me now. Like you fuck with him, you fuck with me. He's like, I didn't even know he was your people's like that. You know what I mean? And so he backed the fuck down. Lewis told me later that at that moment he was like, oh shit, I got friends. Like in his head, like he was ready to fight them all. Like, that's how Lewis is. Like I've seen Lewis do some crazy shit. In his mind, he's like, yo, I'm ready to fight them all. But in his head, he was like, yeah, when you did that shit, in my head, I was like, yo, I got friends. And I was like, oh yeah. And then ever since then, like we've been aces. And then mi hermano, that's my brother. You know what I mean? So it was so like I said, it was that situation that bonded Lewis and I. A situation bonded. We're gonna end the podcast on this story, right? Calvin Ridley and this story. We didn't even get the shit else. We're gonna talk about UFC, everything else. It's about to be midnight. Hey, you ready to go night night? You ready to go night night, sugars?
Don't you still have people connected?
Yeah, we still got people connected. They understand. I fully understand. Like, yeah, see, they understand. So, what bonded Darnell and I, like I said.
I ate your ice cream.
I'm mad.
I was just letting you know before you went in there and you looked at it.
Do I still have a decent amount of ice cream left to make 2 bowls for myself?
That's for you to decide.
Ooh. Ooh, you luck. You know, I'm gonna rocking stuff with your Afro Puffs. Just let you know.
I have cravings.
I'm gonna rough and stuff with your Afro Puffs later on.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I'm gonna rough and stuff with your Afro Puffs later.
As you were saying?
What bonded Darnell and I, right? I don't even understand what the point of these 2 stories were anymore. Right? What bonded Darnell and I was that we had been friends already, and we went out, and some chick was fucking with his girl, right? Yeah, and they started beefing and scrapping and this whatever, right? And the dude of the other chick, right? Because he already had known that that was Darnell's girl or whatever, and he comes up here and is like, hey, look, like I see your girl over there beefing with my girl. I hope we don't have to get involved in shit. And he has his hand on Darnell's shoulder. Darnell goes, don't touch me. Right? Like, oh, what? Oh, buddy. Right? He says some whatever slick shit. Right? No. So then the chicks are still going at it, and he puts his hand on Darnell's shoulder again, and I hit him. No, I snuffed him. I just swung at him. I thought he told you not to fucking touch him. I just hit him. Once a year shit. I used to have an urge to swing on somebody once a year. That was a prime opportunity.
He still be swinging on me, y'all.
Whatever. My girlfriend's abusive. I have an abusive girlfriend. I live in fear every day of my life.
Okay, no one can back you up on that at all.
Like, this is what it sounds like when doves cry. Right, so She was like, I don't want to. I'm not gonna be a part of this. What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Okay, thank you. So what bond? So that it was that moment that bonded that bonded Darnell and I, right? Is that?
You want to see something cool? I got a fingerprint on there too.
Shut up. Move out here. You changed my password too.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
What the
I
fuck you changed my password?
Well, why would I do something like that? That's evil.
Exactly. What the hell did you change it to?
Well, I didn't change your password. It's the same. You don't even remember your own password.
Whatever. The hell you changed my password to?
I swear to God. I swear. All I did was add my fingerprint.
You added your finger. That's what you did. You added your finger. You didn't add fingerprints. You always be snitching on yourself.
I know. Fuck.
Right. Okay. So it was that moment that bonded, like Darnell and I, because he was like immediately, like he was like, "Yo, this nigga Talon didn't even hesitate. He just swung on this motherfucker, right?" And then we went out, and then we had to go outside. Do you know who that dude was? He was a bouncer at that club, but he wasn't working that night, right? So he had one of the other bouncers yoke me up and put me in a full Nelson, so he could get a clean shot at me. So he was holding. He's like, hold him. So then he hits me, bam. I was like, you hit like a bitch. So he came right to hit me again. My boy Shalimar was the DJ, right? Bobby knows Shalimar, the DJ. So we was at Club Boca for this specific reason, you know what I mean? Because like, it's his night. Omar knows me at this point because his name is Omar. Shalimar. Oh shit. His name is Omar too. He's the one good Omar I know. Yo, it's funny how the story has two different Omars.
We have to go to work in the morning.
I know, we're almost done here. Trust me, we have less than 9 minutes left of the podcast. Right? So, next thing so what happened is that Shalimar, he's DJing there, but you know, a DJ basically kind of runs shit there. So he automatically, he's like, yo, the fuck are you doing? He's like, yo. So he tells the other DJs, yo, get him, because he's not working that night, so he has no authority over that shit, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, get him the fuck out of here. He's like, yo, you're fucking fired. Yo, yeah. He kicked him out and fired him at the same time. He's like, you never fucking work in this fucking club and get the fuck out of here. He's like, yo, T, you good? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. He was like a bitch. He really hit like a bitch. He was big as fuck, too. But that whole story came about because we was just talking about loyalty and how even friends can become family. And we was talking about how I was giving you on how a major example how two different individuals that aren't family but we got bonded at the same at different times, almost similar incidences, and we became family after that. And ever since then it's been all Gucci. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, Calvin Ridley didn't have anybody in his life like this so that he can go ahead and say, hey, place this bet for me. Right? Because I can't do this myself, because if I do, I'm going to get fucking suspended for a whole year for betting on the game of football. When I could bet on any sport that I want. You understand? Without having any. So I'm like, yo, really? He had to have pissed somebody off. Now I got a question for you, Sugars.
Yes.
If a random white woman used a random slur towards me, would you feel bad about me if I beat the shit out of her? If she used a racial slur towards me?
I'd probably beat her ass before you did.
What if you weren't there?
Oh, well, no, because I'd probably beat her ass too if that was
All right.
the situation.
I had to ask that question because I find myself today defending Kareem Hunt a lot, right? Because since Calvin Ridley got suspended for a whole entire year Like I said, we're gonna end the podcast with this segment, and then listen, you just have to catch us back on Wednesday, right? And on Wednesday, I'm gonna have to let that dude know that I can't make it to his thing. I can't make it to his studio on Wednesday, but on Wednesday I may be at Freedom Tax. Like, I'm sorry. Like, damn, I wasn't gonna go anywhere, to be honest with you, this Wednesday. I was just gonna record from home, but if I am gonna leave my house, it's gonna be from Freedom Tax because it is tax season. You want to get somebody that you can trust to do your taxes. So you want to make sure that you have just head over down to Freedom Taxes. That's Freedom Tax at gmail.com with 2 X's. Right? You talk to Big Al. You tell him MyT Sports send you, and you'll go ahead and get $50 cash right there on the spot. I'm just saying. At the end of this podcast, I'll make sure I give you your Blue Chew promo, your Blue Chew code as well too, so you get your free order of Blue Chew. Thank you. So, I find myself defending Kareem Hunt a lot, right? And the reason I'm defending Kareem Hunt is because people are asking, well, the NFL suspended Calvin Ridley 17 games for 17 games for betting on the sport of football. But one Kareem Hunt, right? He kicked a woman at a hotel, right? Like, he knocked down a woman and kicked her repeatedly at a hotel, and he only got suspended for 8 games, right? But the people that are saying this, they are not putting things in its full perspective. You can't correlate the two, right? You're not correlating the two properly. Sorry.
I'm really starting to hit that fucking word.
Listen, I did that to fuck with you a little. I did purposely. Sorry. I love you though. But
tell the world that you love me.
I just did.
Tell them louder.
Okay, world, I fucking love her louder.
He's so drunk. He's so drunk. You see his eyes?
Oh, they're going. Like, I'm drunk and I'm high. Like let's wait till I take my fucking Benadryl later on. I'm about to be fucking gone. I'm gonna sleep through the night like a fucking
They
kite.
left you?
Right, so Kareem Hunt, he kicked a woman at a hotel, right, repeatedly, right, beat the shit out of her almost, right. Let's just go there, kind of kicked the shit out of her, right, and that's not cool. But I asked you about a very specific scenario before I even told you about that, didn't I, Sugars? Yeah. And I asked you, what if this random white woman said a racial slur to me, right? Would you hold it against me if I beat her ass? And he was like, no, because you probably would have done it herself. Well, guess what? That's what she did to Kareem Hunt. So you understand the NFL takes a little bit of everything into consideration, right? And they review every case, and they review every case individually. When they review Kareem Hunt's case, and listen, we were over here calling Kareem Hunt cunt, K-Hunt, cunt. That's what it says. For that same incident. And we had to even remind ourselves here on the MyT Sports Podcast, wait a minute, didn't he beat the shit out of that woman because she threw some racial slurs at him? Well, guess what? Like, a lot of the people that I hear bring this up as a talking point, none of these motherfuckers is black. And if they're black, I can't see that shit based off their profile picture. So, listen, I'm just let you know now. From the time that she threw that racial slur, she opened up every single can of whoop ass that she received. Baby, come on, baby. Stop it. But we about to end the podcast in 4 minutes. I think my baby trying to talk her love language to me. I'm getting signals. And we just lost the feed on Podbean, so I know we're definitely getting to that time. Right? So now, right, I find myself defending Kareem Hunt for something that two things that don't fully correlate, right? You're not supposed to bet on the sport. You bet on the sport, you get suspended for a year. It looks like that rule has kind of been in place for a while, and everybody kind of knows the deal. Kareem Hunt had an incident that he put with the NFL, and the NFL they were going to review it. I think I even remember they reduced his sentence sometime or whatever because they fought against it because they hear everything on a case by case standard. And he got suspended for 8 games. And I know also we hear other people have brought up Greg Hardy and other incidents. Greg Hardy can't defend. But Kareem Hunt, There's only one reason why I'm over here defending one person out of the list of individuals that might have been mentioned. And that is because Kareem Hunt, right, was a target of a racial crime. He was every bit in his right to beat the ass out of anybody that spewed that racial shit towards him. I'm sorry. Listen, you understand, at that point in time, you see red and all gloves may go off. Do stupid things, you get stupid prizes. If you go to spew some racial shit at a black person, then they don't do shit, then good for you. But also be expected, and you understand, in any scenario, you have to expect the best and worst and worst out of anything. So spew some racial shit at a black person, and they may kill you. At worst, you're gonna get a very serious ass whooping. So you can be taught a lesson and then live on and move on. And listen, I don't like to defend Kareem Hunt because also it still is ultimately beating the shit out of a woman. But you know what? There's not a lot of times I can think that I can see red enough to want to beat the shit out of somebody regardless of who the fuck. You understand? If a little kid said this shit to me, I may punt that little motherfucker. You understand? I may spank them just because their parents haven't in a while, or they need to learn a goddamn lesson. Like trust me, I am that motherfucker. I am the community uncle. I will whoop your kids. With that said, I am out of here. Hey yo, as we like to say on the podcast, hey yo, DJ MyT, play my outro so I can. The hell is going on here? Like, see, I'm sorry. I go left field, I go right field, I get distracted, but then I also get reminded as well. I have the Knicks on right now, finally, and we have the Knicks playing the Sacramento Kings. And as you guys know, right, the Sacramento Kings happens to be one of those teams that I really like to watch, and it really is just because of the fact, like, well, it has a lot of the rookies that I like, right? It has Bane. Wait, that's Memphis. It has Bane, but it had De'Aaron Fox. It has De'Aaron Fox. It had Tyler Halliburton. Wait, do they have Bane? No, Bane is in Memphis. Excuse me. Shit. Shoot. Sorry, shit. Right? But they have the Knicks game on, right? It's about the third quarter. The Knicks are down 70-76. The Knicks were down by like 15 points when we first turned into this game. That's the reason why I didn't fully get into it. I was a little pissed off. But I said, you know, God, I saw the Knicks game. I saw my Knicks rug, and it reminded me that I have to do one thing before we leave the podcast, and that's make sure that you guys know about Blue Chew. And what is Blue Chew? Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can give you back your thrill. All you need to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. Now listen, if you use the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, I'm sorry, it has the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss. Trust me, she's gonna love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use this week's promo code of LVSJ, like Las Vegas sand job, right? Lima Victor Sierra Juliet, right? LVSJ. You can get your first order of Blue Chew for free directly from the folks at MyT. The only thing you have to do is pay for the $5 shipping and handling fee. And that's so you can pay your postal workers. So don't be cheap, pay your postal workers. Get yourself some Blue Chew. But there's only two requirements. You chew it, and then you do it. Now you can either do it like LL Cool J where you're doing it well. Or you can do it like Lionel Richie where it's all night long, all night, yeah. But either way, Blue Chew. Chew it and then do it. And now, DJ MyT, can you play my outro so I may stop the ramble?
Sorry, B. I
I
tried.
know you did.
Honest.
For real, for real.
All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained.
Not at all.
No lag. No lag.
Ooh.
Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought. Last of the real gabbers. Well, maybe not the last. Munchkin got good mic skills. New, improved MyT podcaster. Potting down now. Last call for drinks. Bars closing. Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast.
Interesting lineup
Don't
that
wanna
Knicks
go
have right
far.
now. I saw Emmanuel quickly, Alex
Wild
Burke,
night.
and Evan Fournier. Those are three ball
Tired,
handlers
B.
to go along with
Tired.
Julius Randall.
MyT.
Sports. Oof. We make magic over here. You ain't even ready for that shit. You ain't even ready. 'Cause I was already on fish and spaghetti. Rah. And nah, I ain't even give you guys that shit either. Cutting YouTube off too. You want to see the shit that you want to see? Hop over to the OnlyFans page.